The second truth about commitment phobia disguised as abundance is this: spreading yourself across multiple people creates the illusion of connection while generating or guaranteeing the reality of isolation. Here's what people don't tell you about living a split life. It's exhausting. Not just logistically, though managing multiple relationships, keeping stories straight, remembering who knows what about your life, that's draining enough. But spiritually, emotionally, it hollows you out, because every time you show up in one connection, you're performing, you're managing, you're carefully creating which version of yourself is appropriate for this person, this moment, this situation. With one woman, maybe you're the provider, the stable one, the man with the plan who's got everything together. With another, maybe you're the passionate one, the romantic, the one who makes her feel alive and desired. But neither one gets the guy who's scared sometimes. Neither one gets the guy who doesn't have it all figured out. Neither one gets the parts of you that don't fit the narrative you're presenting. And here's the trap. You think you're giving each person what they need. You think you're being strategic, being smart, being abundant. But really, you're just making sure no one gets close enough to see what you're hiding. The result? You're surrounded by people who want you, but you're deeply, profoundly alone. Because being wanted for a created version of yourself isn't the same as being loved for who you actually are. Think about Neo's situation: 2 women, 2 separate households, 2 different realities to maintain. With one woman, he presents one version of himself. With another, a different version. Each relationship requires him to show up in a specific way, that to meet specific expectations, to be a specific version of himself. But where does he get to just be? Where does he get to stop performing and simply exist as his full, complicated self? Nowhere. Because when you're managing multiple connections, you're always on. You're always managing the narrative. You're always performing the version of yourself that fits this particular situation. And that performance is exhausting, not just because of the logistics, though coordinating schedules, managing expectations, keeping your story straight is genuinely draining, but because of the deeper cost. You never get to be fully yourself anywhere. You're always editing, always creating, always managing which parts of you are appropriate for this connection and which parts needs to stay away or still stay hidden. With one person, you can't talk about the other person. You can't share certain truths about your life because they would reveal the compartmentalization. You can't be fully honest because full honesty would expose the split. So you perform connection while avoiding intimacy. You show up while staying hidden. You present but never fully there. And over time, this creates a profound loneliness that's hard to even name. Because you're not alone in the traditional sense. You're surrounded by people. You have connections, you have relationships. From the outside, your life looks full, but inside, you're isolated. Because no one actually knows you. No one sees the full picture. No one understands the complete truth of your life. You're like a performer who's always on stage, applauded, desired, wanted, but never actually known, never actually seen beyond the role you're playing. And this is the loneliness of the commitment phobic, surrounded by connection but starving for intimacy. And if you think about your own life, how often do you show up in connections while keeping significant parts of yourself hidden? How often do you perform the version of yourself that you think this person wants, rather than risking showing them who you actually are? How often do you find yourself in the strange position of being surrounded by people who care about you while feeling deeply alone because none of them actually know you? This is what happens when you use multiple connections as protection. You create the illusion of intimacy while guaranteeing the reality of isolation. Because real intimacy requires presence, full presence, being completely there with someone, not managing other connections in your mind, not editing yourself to fit their expectations, not performing a role, but simply being yourself. But when you're split across multiple people, full presence becomes impossible. With one woman, part of your mind is on the other woman. Part of your attention is on managing the logistics of keeping those worlds separate. Part of your energy is spent maintaining the performance rather than being genuine. You're physically present but emotionally absent. You're there but not really there. You're showing up but not fully arriving. And the women in your life feel this. They might not be able to name it, but they sense it. They sense that they're not getting all of you. They sense that you're holding something back. They sense that there's a part of you they can't reach. So even in the connections you're maintaining, there's distance and incompleteness, a sense that something's missing, even though you're technically there. And this is the spiritual cost of the split life. You're never fully anywhere because you're always managing everywhere. You can't be fully present with one woman because you're managing the other situation. You can't be fully honest because honesty would expose the compartmentalization. You can't be fully vulnerable because vulnerability would reveal what you're hiding. So you end up in this exhausting middle ground, connected but isolated, desired but not known, surrounded by people but profoundly alone. Neo wrote some of the most beautiful love songs about deep connection, about being seen, about intimacy that transforms you. Songs that millions of people have used to express their deepest feelings about love. But can he actually live what his songs describe while maintaining two separate relationships? Can he be fully present with either woman while managing this split? Can he experience the depth his music portrays while keeping his life compartmentalized? The same question applies to anyone caught in this pattern. Can you have real intimacy while splitting yourself? Can you be truly known while hiding significant parts of your life? Can you experience deep connection while while using multiple relationships as protection? And the answer is no. Not because you're a bad person, not because you don't want connection, but because the structure you've created, multiple connections as armor against vulnerability, makes real intimacy impossible. You've built a life that looks full from the outside, but feels empty from the inside. You've created connections that provide attention, but not understanding. You've surrounded yourself with people who want you, but don't actually know you. And beneath all of that, beneath the options, the attention, the connections, you're lonely. Because what you actually want, what we all actually want, is to be fully known and still chosen. To show someone your complete truth and to have them stay, to be vulnerable and have that vulnerability met with love. But you can't have that while you're protecting yourself through multiple connections. You can't be fully known while you're splitting yourself. You can't experience real intimacy while you're performing different versions of yourself for different people. This is the second truth. Spreading yourself across multiple people creates the illusion of connection while guaranteeing the reality of isolation. You're surrounded but alone, desired but not known, connected but never truly intimate.